Happy Halloween there, Ed.
Oh yeah, we're getting in the spirit. Michaela got us a box of these for, my favorite is the little ghost with the witch's hat.
That's very festive.
Oh yeah. So, hey everybody, how
Hello.
are you? We're doing our video thing again. We're using a different iPad, Chef.
This is the winner. I just know
This
I
is.
just know it.
We've struggled. You probably noticed. We are a rinky-dink operation when it comes to production of film, but we keep trying.
Well, again, we spend most of our hours in wine and food and service, and film production is lax in our portfolio.
Yeah, we're not great at that. But hey, it's the effort that counts.
We're getting
right?
better. I think I like your fix here. I got a good feeling about this.
And we're upstairs. Craziness below us in the restaurant. Crazy in the barrel room. It's been just a phenomenal week for ONS. Lots of busy bees everywhere. So this is the closest.
A lot of moving parts.
This is the closest quiet room we could find. We're upstairs.
We're hoping it will stay quiet unless something.
Oh yes, and I'm surprised the phone's not ringing off the hook. But hey, we appreciate all those calls because that means there are reservations.
There's something good on the other end, except for the telemarketers. It's a good thing.
You're right. So Ed and Chris here, we do our weekly thing of, well, we at least try to video. Not always that successful.
Maybe in 6 parts, but we'll get it done.
We are here to guide you through your virtual tasting. We do it here live in person every Thursday night. We do 4 wines from around the world. We taste wines. Chef Chris gives us beautiful pairings of food. But for you folks that are not quite ready to come out during our pandemic, we can obviously hook you up at home. You can watch the video, taste along.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. You don't miss a thing.
Yeah, and you listen to our silliness for 30 minutes or so.
It's probably, I would say, a better experience because, you can focus and listen to the notes and enjoy this time. It can be a bit hectic here in person. So
I'd say, you know why you think it's a better experience is because we're sitting here drinking wine.
And am I wrong?
Let's be honest.
The truth remains.
It's still a fact. So, that bottle I just shoved in the camera there, that was for you to see this beautiful little label here. Oh, this is kind of like a throwback or an homage to the old school. Now, Catania is probably the biggest name of wine out of Argentina or all of South America as far as I'm concerned. And that family really elevated the wines of Argentina to, they put them in position, the whole country, to succeed. And I think the country is certainly aware of that. The family is now, I think, 4th generation, if I'm not mistaken. And it is a wonderful winemaking family. They're doing fantastic stuff. Chef Chris, he likes one of their collaboratives, El Enemigo. That's one of his favorite wines.
What a wine!
But this is this is a very interesting wine here because this is a kind of a throwback wine. They're trying to reproduce the style of wine they made when they first started back in the late 1920, like 28, 29, 1930-ish, is more of a field blend. And they're really known now for single varietals. Obviously, single varietal Malbec is world famous. If they may have put South American Malbec on the map forever.
Well, the entirety of that region owes Catania a huge debt of gratitude because even a casual wine.
That's pretty, isn't it?
Notices.
Oh yeah.
You could take someone who just has had wine at parties and they walk down the wine aisle and they go Catania.
Yeah, and
it's pretty good.
Yeah, and so this is they're also known for fantastic Chardonnay. We love their Chardonnays. But this is a field blend. So what we're talking about here is we've got some other grapes in here. It's only about 70% Malbec, but it's still deriving the flavor profile for sure. That color, you're not going to usually get that kind of color out of Malbec.
Great color. Boy, is this a lush mouthfeel.
Yes, it's a treat. Especially at this price point. My gosh, it's ridiculous. They're just giving it away.
I love it when people give me wine.
So the Petit Bordeaux and the Bernardo here really plush this wine out. There's still plenty of acidity. Yes, it is plush, but it is balanced. Tons of acidity here, which make it a great food wine. And certainly, it doesn't need food either. I mean, it can.
I'm not craving anything right now.
Right. Cheers.
Cheers to your health.
Yeah, another week of profitability. It's been a very good week.
We'll take it.
Yep.
After months and months and months and months of zero revenue,
Yeah.
we'll take it.
Yeah. We're making a comeback, kids.
Sorry, I'm a little dehydrated today. I'm just going to get a little more.
So in your glass, you notice right away this beautiful deep violet purple color. It's just screaming to drink me. The nose is it's loud. And so the flavor profile, it's very much like a Malbec. You have the dark fruits. There is some red fruit in there as well, but I think it's dominated by dark fruits. And just really big, plenty of alcohol here. So any of you out there that's really looking for something that's you like your higher alcohol contents, this is also going to appease that person.
It's not
as well.
drinking hot though.
No.
Not at all.
It's well integrated. It's a shockingly low price. $15 wine here, and and it drinks like.
I thought you were kidding.
No, I wasn't. It's stupid. So guess what?
Wow.
Guess what Chris is going to have in his cellar tomorrow.
Mrs. Wishart will be happy to see this because that's
Yep.
we're going to do some transactions.
Yes.
With this. My goodness. Again, I know you make it look easy, and people don't appreciate all the dogs you have to taste to find these wines, but that's a stupid value.
Yeah.
Because the quality to value ratio, the price ratio is outrageous.
And this is something that you can just, you can afford just to have around just for guests when they come over. And, even if you don't like them,
Well, I got to tell you, every now and then I make a mistake and I don't, order enough wine or this and that, and I have to run to the grocery store. Maybe once a week or every now and then I have to go buy a couple of bottles at the grocery store. And I buy at the grocery store in the $10 to $18 range. They're always terrible. They're always terrible.
They're putting a Band-Aid on.
The only time, and I hate, and then of course I'll go, and if I'm really in the mood, I'll it hurts, but I'll drop $20 on a Coke and Rum because I know it's good.
Yeah.
But I just hate spending $20 on Coke and Rum when I can spend 16. But I mean, anytime I buy a $15 wine, it never ever comes anywhere close to this.
And that is Catania right there in a nutshell. Their ability to deliver at any price point. They have higher end wines, but even their higher end stuff isn't that expensive.
No, not comparatively to high end wines.
Absolutely.
No, I know they're really not. You're right. Yeah. Well, of course you're right. But I just started thinking about it.
Yeah, it's and we're probably guilty of forgetting about this winery because we kind of take it for granted that it's always been there and always will be apparently.
Well, and especially like their flagship wines. Because I don't even buy those at the store, just because. But I love that they have all these subsidiaries and pet projects and collaborations because it allows you to continue to support the mothership.
Yep, absolutely.
While not just buying the same Malbec over and over again. That's a very, very, it's good business, but it's also good for the consumer.
Absolutely. Yep. And you know what else is good for the consumer? Your food.
Sometimes
what are you going to throw at this?
Well, we've got a great cheese for this, and of course, all you folks at home love our cheese selections, and so this is no exception. We've got an English-style cheddar, and this is from Looking Glass Creamery in Asheville. We've had a few of their selections with Bear Wallow recently, and we like their blue cheeses, and I always love the chocolate lab from them.
Oh yeah, it's classic.
Anyway, the Drover's Road cheddar is great. It's an aged English-style cheddar, just rock hard rind. I mean, you could break a window with the rind. So I mean, you can tell the good aging on this.
So when it comes to looting time, just have a block of cheese.
You know, I didn't even think about that. If we're having the cheese and we run out of wine, instead of getting gouged at the grocery store, break the windows with the cheese rind.
Right.
Just grab it all and run out of there.
It's the American way.
Brilliant. Certainly the 2020 way. But yeah, this is going to be a fabulous cheese. We're going to put a few marinated olives in there. Did those today. Coriander, lemon, garlic, parsley, olive oil. We love our marinated olives.
Dude, you take those olives to another level. People that don't like olives say, I want more of these.
Well, I never get tired of them. You know, as chefs, Ed and I are always like, oh, what's next? What's next? What's new? What's new? But you have to love the classics too. It kind of contain you. I mean, you don't always be like, what's new? Well,
wow, I like the way you tied that all together.
You don't always have to have something new. I mean, and the pioneers deserve our allegiance.
Agreed.
Because there'd be no new without. And but I just love those things. I love those marinated olives with wine, and I love them with cheese. And we got a good thing going with that. We don't want. And also, for our next selection, we're kind of going over the top. So, not going to go too wild with this wine. It's a great way to start. Really and it's not downplaying anything. It's a world-class cheese, and it's ridiculously expensive. So, but it just seems like, just give me cheese. But we do really good cheeses. I mean, they're super high end.
Well, everybody wants to buy them. Every time you give somebody something like that, I want to get a pound.
I got a lot of extra in this week because we've been selling a lot of cheese at
3
the
or
table.
4 people a week now at our tastings are asking to get our kind of high end stuff.
We went through a whole case of Green Hill last week.
Yeah.
After the tasting.
Yeah. And not to mention the Kobe beef.
That helped.
And now the seafood. It's like Chris's market. It's awesome.
Well, one day, Ed, we're gonna have the Chris and Ed market. We're just gonna drink wine all day and sell cheese, and we're gonna have.
Are the doors gonna be open?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're gonna sell everything online and just set the bags out front.
Gotcha.
Wave at everyone.
Yeah, that way. That way you don't have to be nice to people.
Well, I mean, we've been at this full time for 35 years?
Feels like 100, Chef.
I know. So we kind of deserve that life. I think we're about ready to just sit in a room and drink wine and sell cheese for a living. What do you think?
I can do that. This is old school Napa, and I'm really excited about this one. We are stepping up dramatically in price. This is a real treat. This is a real treat.
Did you enjoy that value earlier?
Yeah. So save a little money from your cases of Catania.
Well, holidays are coming up.
They are coming up.
We got Christmas, we're doing Thanksgiving, and gifting.
Oh yeah.
And who better to gift some of this wine than to buy it from us and then gift it
right back. That's
to Ed and I.
Yes.
And what a beautiful circle of life that would be.
But this, it probably is a terrible idea to put this in a to-go because the bottle of wine's more than the actual tasting. But that's okay. But
we in the car on the way home.
We need to give you.
That's why you don't give me nice wine.
We need to give you very special treats from now and again, even if.
Finally, you're opening something good.
Listen to me. So yeah, right. You are spoiled, but we're going to continue spoiling you and spoiling you even more. So Monticello Vineyards in Napa, and a lot of people want to mistake that with the Monticello estate up in Virginia. Oh yeah,
he stooped me on it. That's for sure.
Yeah. But I mean that's the closest one to us. It would make sense. Check out that beautiful court right there. Yeah,
perfect line.
So. This, I was saying, is old school Napa. So we're talking 1969, 1970, 50 years. 50 years. Now, in terms of California, it doesn't get much older than that. It's particularly Napa. So production has been. You would think that if someone has been around that long, that they'd have like this super gallows size situation, but no, it's not. They're only doing, still to this day, they only do 15,000 cases a year. So this is by design. hands-on, sustainable farming. They want to be boutique, and they are. They are going to stay right there. They're going to have what they have. They're going to sell what they sell. They are not selling out. They're not the Silver Oaks of the world. They are certainly going to be themselves until the end, and I think it's fantastic, and I can't wait to drink this with you
That is
folks.
so wonderful. And again, like we've been talking about, they're not chasing a Disneyland production.
Right.
They're enjoying their life, doing what they want to do, and the quality clearly. Thank you.
Yeah.
By the way. Thank you. Shines through.
Hey, so cheers to the Corley family.
Cheers to.
For 50 years of making beautiful, beautiful wines.
What a nose.
Now, what I love about this, and this one's probably going to stump a few people, this does not come across as necessarily a real California wine. It comes across really old world style to me.
It's very Italian.
I love it. It's got a lot more going on. This
even
is,
Bordeaux-ish.
Yeah.
It's got a ton of licorice on the nose, but you just know it's not going to be that.
Yes, and I would agree with you, Chef. It does come across very Bordeaux-ish. It's got more earth and elements of things that you would consider on the old world side. But as you'll clearly see once you get this on your palate, that yes, that nose does translate to the palate, but there's such big fruit here. It could only be California.
Super bright.
Yeah.
Super bright.
And with this kind of, like you say, like with this kind of brightness, this is also a kind of wine that you can lay down. You can have this for years. And boy, look at those.
Really designed to lay down. I mean, it's drinkable now, clearly.
Look at how slow these tears are going. There's some alcohol in here.
She has some good legs.
Yeah, she got
good
some
legs.
long legs. So this is everything you want from a New World cab plus. It's got the European zing to it.
Well, even at it 50 years, that's where your influence is. I mean, there weren't any revolutionary winemakers to draw from in the 1970s. I mean, you were a student of the old world.
Sure, absolutely.
You don't have to stay there. But
No. Yeah. So this is this is one of those, again, if you have your guest over and like, well, I only drink French wines, or I don't do American wines. Well, you might switch them right here.
I might want to stop inviting them over too.
Yeah. Plus they're bringing Chateauneuf.
True. That's a great point.
Yeah.
Excellent point.
If they're gonna bring the Chateauneuf to pop, let them come on over, or just send them to my house, whatever. But this is a big wine, but it is also it has precision. It has balance. It has long life. It's really a pretty sexy wine.
Those tannins are kicking in now.
Yeah.
They weren't there on the first sip.
Yeah.
But wine's warming up in the glass.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to it. Tannins are settling in, and I'm actually allowing myself to wait between sips. Look at that.
Yeah, this is one of those wines you stop.
It
and think
looks
about.
like you're pouring caramel down a cake, and
Absolutely beautiful.
gorgeous.
This is a fine wine lover's wine. I mean, there's no doubt about it. This is something, and I'm telling you, at $35, you won't ever see it at $35.
Yeah, I'd say.
And
So, that's still
you're
$35.
gonna be pouring. You're gonna be
ask.
pouring your friends and family, or just yourself. $100 wine. It's
Easy.
It's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, and why would you? I wouldn't blink at 35 for that. Not that I drink $35 wines a lot.
Not every day, but you do.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
But you do.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course I do. But I mean, that is.
I love the way that wine just makes you stop and think.
It really does. It keeps changing in the glass too, and quickly. You
Yeah.
normally have to wait a little bit longer for it to evolve in the glass. This is blooming nicely.
Absolutely. There's great spice in here. Chef mentioned the licorice, but there's also this kind of clove and nutmeg. It's really blossoming as we sit here.
The licorice is on the nose, not so much on the palate.
Right. It's gorgeous.
That's a beautiful one.
I just like looking in the glass and see how
just
pretty. Right?
watching it rain.
Yep. So, what kind of food are you gonna throw at them?
So, because we love you, we're having beef tenderloin.
What?
Yeah. So we got a big party on Friday, and I got to clean all the tenderloins
Yeah,
for it
don't
here in a
remind
little bit. Right after this, actually.
We got another huge week.
And so we're going to have those beautiful tenderloin tails.
Mm-hmm.
And the beauty of that is, you know, people really get themselves worked up about filet mignon and chateaubriand and all these center cuts.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll take
But
that.
the entirety of the tenderloin is, you know, has the same flavor profile. So we're going to sear the tenderloin tails, and I went ahead and did a truffle potato tart with truffles from Burgundy with this. So, so we'll be dining on truffle potato Parmesan tarts with beef tenderloin because we're so fancy.
Well, yeah, and like I said, if we're losing money on the wine, might
Let's
as well
throw
lose-
in the whole towel.
might
Right?
as well lose
Just
money
throw
on
in
the
the
food
towel.
while you're at it. So,
Oh, well, maybe we'll salvage. No, double
yeah,
down.
Yeah. Well,
Let's
Merry Christmas to everyone out there.
We love you.
Yeah, and to your health. This is going to be a great pairing. There's no doubt about it because this does drink very Frenchy. I think you really nailed it.
I think it's going to work well with this. I didn't even expect it to be this Frenchy. I was doing it thinking it was going to be we didn't have a lot of time to talk. We talked about them all.
Well,
we
it's
didn't have time to
been
talk
nuts
about
around here. Yeah.
So I really was planning for it to just kind of elevate a Napa cab.
Right.
But this is not a Napa cab, even though it is a Napa cab, and I'm going in circles. But
You'd have a hard time finding an apple cab that tastes like this.
I don't know where you would.
I mean, everybody's trying to be that, that one thing, that one style. And that's what I love about these boutique wineries. That's why we support these smaller wineries so much, because they are staying true to themselves. They're trying to stay true to what they believe. Like Frank Family. We did Frank Family.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And everybody that likes Chardonnay, if you don't like Chardonnay, you're probably not going to like the Chardonnay, but people that like Chardonnay were blown away by the quality of that Chardonnay. And I think this is going to be the same thing that happens right here.
Zero doubt about it. I mean, I don't know, it has, wines like this is weird. I mean, we use the word character for some things, but I think above tasting notes.
Yeah.
The wines like this and the Frank Family and really Catania as well. I mean, I know that El Enemigo has a character to it. It almost embodies its name before it got in the bottle.
Right.
And I feel like that's kind of the nature of some of these wineries are like that.
Well, to me, it gets I might sound a little silly.
I would love that.
You've probably heard me say this before at the chef's table, but you're probably too busy cooking to listen to me babble on about the wine.
You'd be surprised, I do listen.
But we just had another huge week. But at chef's table, when I talk about a wine having a soul, and these like mass-produced wines may be delicious. I'm not saying they're not.
They get the job done.
But when you're talking about character, I feel like these smaller, just these wines that have been loved on by human hands through the entire process, from essentially from root stock all the way to us popping the cork here. All the hands that touched it were so into this wine, and it almost creates its own soul in the bottle. It becomes just like when you say there's a character above the tasting notes. That's kind of what I mean by the soul. I think we're describing the exact same thing,
yeah.
but just with different words.
Well, the earth responds to that. And, I know that you and I both garden, and not only gardening, but dealing with people pretty much every day. That's what they do, is cultivate the earth. This isn't a job. And when, I don't want to get too philosophical here, but, humans are the problem. The earth's got it right.
Yeah.
We are the ones getting in the way of it. And so when we get it right, and I think humans get it right when they stop and they listen to the earth and they cultivate it and they nourish it, and
Just-
there's a collaboration between the earth and the human and Bill. I love Bill so much. Bill is one of the owners of Minglewood Farm. Bill and Marjorie are married, and he always says, "Well, I don't, you don't work against nature; you work with it." And he's like,
Harmony.
He goes, "You go to these farms, and they look like Disneyland. Everything's perfectly manicured and blah blah blah." And not that Bill doesn't weed and things like that,
Sure.
but I mean, it looks like it looks like the earth. It looks
Yeah.
like a farm, and I mean, their stuff is
And that's
second to none. Is because of his relationship, I think, of he and Marjorie's relationship with the earth,
right.
the earth that they're have been entrusted with. It's no different than a winery. You have a huge responsibility to that patch of earth, and when you respect it enough and nurture it,
Yes.
this is the reward, and it's not some some juice that gets you drunk.
Yep.
It's something special.
And this is also something that, just like Chris and I are doing right here, we're sharing thoughts and philosophies over a bottle of wine. These are things that happen when you open fine wine. These your mind opens up, your heart opens up, your soul opens up. It's really, I really can't say enough about wine, and I wish that I'd been more into wine when I was younger, but I sure do appreciate it now.
I hope we live longer than we ever thought we would.
We already
so
have.
we can continue. No, I meant starting yesterday.
Yeah, right.
So we can continue these conversations and these explorations, because there's so much wine left to drink, and there's so many stories left to hear and to share, and there's so many. There's so many things left to. I love changing my mind. It takes a long time.
It takes a while.
It takes a long time
It
for
does.
stubborn
He's
people.
stubborn, but he's not closed down stubborn. He is changeable. You can.
We all are. But
Well, we should be.
We should be, but
Yeah.
it's not as easy as it sounds.
It is hard.
It's a hard thing to do, and it takes, honestly, I think it takes more than empirical evidence to have a philosophical change.
Totally
I mean,
agree.
you can't just sit someone down and go,
Here's
well,
the facts.
clearly A, B, and C, and empirical evidence doesn't do that. Well, at least know people like us.
Sure.
But I think that's why I want to live a little bit longer than I ever thought I wanted to live. It's just because I love these last 5 or 6 years, the way I know my mind has changed about so many different things, how I look at life. I've seen it with you as well.
He's changed a lot,
We
even
all
though he's
have.
still Chris Wishart.
Well, we're
Still
true to
ornery.
ourselves.
God,
I'm
he's so
ornery.
ornery.
God, I'm ornery. I don't know why anybody spends more than 30 seconds around me. We're a miserable wreck.
People line out the door to see you. What are you talking about?
Nope. They line up the door for me to cook for them. It's the difference. He had to spend time with me. We'd be tumbleweeds rolling through the dining room.
Well, I certainly enjoy our
Your condition.
surprising. We work together all the time, but we don't really get this time together, and this is always
It's
awesome.
always fun.
So, Chef, you alluded to the fact that we got a huge party on. Should we do that? We have a big party on Friday, and we're somewhat limited in seating. So another
Well,
Whopper Friday, and then
Another Whopper.
of course Saturday we got chef's tables
10.
again.
10.
Another huge night for us at the
Another
chef's
huge
table.
lunch too.
Oh yeah, yep. It's been fascinating to see how many people now. We're all booked. Like all we got is 3:00, 3:30. We'll take it.
Take it.
Yep. So
We're
people.
coming with 7 people. See you then.
Yeah. So it's been a blessing. We've really maximized our space and our staff, and things are good right now.
They are good. I feel like we're in our sweet spot. We get too much bigger, we lose it, and we get too much smaller, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And it's just, we're being tested. Don't get
Every
me wrong.
single day.
These are we're being tested, but at the same time, I think they're doing the right things.
We are blessed, and we are having a great time working ridiculous long hours on our feet for two old men, but it's what drives us, and we're happy to do it. Thanks again for joining us. Obviously, if you want these wines, you can just call the winery. You can email Ed at Old North State Winery. If there's some food that you're looking for, we'd be happy to do that as well.
It's fresh seafood, local cheeses, special meal.
Yeah.
Just some advice. Give us a ring. We'll get you through it. We'll either give you the world-class provisions to do it yourself, or we'll do it for you. So keep us in mind.
Yep, and I hope everybody's safe and sound out there. We look forward to seeing you in person when we can. But until then, we'll catch you right here, and we'll see you next Thursday.
We look forward to it. Thank you for your time tonight.
See ya.
Bye.